The anime opens with a red-haired boy waking up in another world. We get to know that this world is the world of the afterlife. The boy's name is Otanashi. He has no memories of his previous life and wakes up to meet a girl, Yuri, pointing a rifle at another girl named Angel. Yuri explains to him that he is now in the afterlife and she wants him to join her group that are at war with Angel. Otanashi is confused and goes to talk to Angel instead. They have a short conversation that leads to Angel making a sword from thin air and stabbing him in his heart to prove that they cannot die. Okay, we now know this is the afterlife and they can't be killed, so why exactly are they fighting? Anyways, Otanashi wakes up in the infirmary. A boy with purple hair confronts him for defying Yuri and the boy slashes him 100 times. Killing him 100 times. Alright, this anime is looking like a joke right now. After Otanashi wakes up again, he begins to find ways to escape from the world. Later he is in the principal's office watching Yuri and the others argue over a new name for their group. With the meeting ending, Yuri explains to Otanashi that there are some non-playable characters in this world, and the group devises a plan to steal some meal tickets from these NPCs. Their plan is successful after they use a girl's band to distract the NPCs. He decides to stay with the group while he recovers his memory. Yuri leads the group down to the guild, a place far below the surface where their allies make weapons for them. The traps in the guild that have initially been disabled are now reactivated as Angel advances on the guild. Noda is the first in the group to be killed by one of the traps. The group have to overcome several challenges, losing Takamatsu to a giant boulder. The next trap is a set of slicing lasers and Matsushita falls prey to it, due to his large size. When they advance into a new room, the ceilings falls and TK sacrifices himself for the rest of the group. At this point, each trap is leading to the death of one team member. Oyama falls to his death in a pitfall. Hinata touches Yuri inappropriately and she kicks him into the pit. Fujimaki dies in the next trap while Shina dies in a very unexpected and hilarious way as she tries to save a fake puppy. Just Otanashi and Yuri left. She tells him the sad story of how she lost her 3 younger siblings and how it has made her rebel against God. They arrive at the guild and plan with the guild members to relocate to the former guild while they blow up Angel in this guild that they have now rigged with explosives. Yuri wants to sneak into Angel's room to crack the password to her computer, so she gets the girl's band to distract Angel. After some time, she decides to use Takayama the hacker to do the mission. Takayama for whatever reason prefers to be called Christ, even though no one will ever call him that. Otanashi meets Yui and she recognizes him. She begins to rant about the group. After some time, Otanashi meets Iwasawa and she tells him how she got into music. Her father was an alcoholic and the constant fights between her parents made her to discover the world of music. Soon he realizes that all of the group members had bad lives before they died. The girls' band begins to play while the others, led by Takayama, goes into Angel's room to hack her computer. Iwasawa goes against schedule and the girls' band are found out. A fight ensures and the girls' band escape in the commotion. After the hack, they realize that Angel is not getting her powers from God, rather she makes them herself, so there might be no God that they are even opposing. After Iwasawa finishes performing, she disappears into heaven and we learn that one can disappear by finding their purpose, not only by obeying what Angel says. With Iwasawa now gone, Yui auditions to take her place as the girls' band's vocalist. She fails her audition. Yuri tells the group that they should participate in the upcoming baseball tournament. Hinata is able to recruit Otanashi, Yui, Noda, and Shina while Yui brings 3 NPC girls to complete their team. Takamatsu's team easily wins their game while Hinata's team struggles but eventually wins too. Angel and the student council vice president, Ayatoneoi, form a team of entirely NPCs. After the other teams have lost to Angel's team, it becomes Angel's team versus Hinata's team. Otanashi bribes Matsushita to join them, giving them an edge. The game goes on, but when Hinata is about to catch a ball and win the game, Otanashi prevents him from catching it, thus saving him from disappearing. Angel's team ends up winning the game while Yui grapples Hinata from behind as she wants to take random for his previous action towards her. With exams drawing near, Angel focuses on her studies. In the group headquarters, Yuri says that it is their turn to attack Angel now. Otanashi imagines but a bloodbath, but Yuri denies, saying that is not what she meant. Yuri says that what they are planning will be traumatizing to Angel if she is truly human. If Angel doesn't get her powers from God, then how is she able to be this strong and create weapons from thin air? Over to the day of the physics exam, They all fail in sitting close to Angel, except Takayama, who sits in front of her. Otonashi is able to get Angel's real name, which is revealed to be Kanade Tachibana. The group plans to submit papers with wrong answers for Angel, ensuring she fails. For the first exam, Hinata's diversion doesn't work and Yuri uses a propulsion engine to blast him into the ceiling to create a diversion. Same thing happens in the second exam with Takamatsu being in Hinata's place. During the English exam, Oyama's diversion fails, but Hinata gets blasted into the ceiling instead of him. After the exams, rumors of Angel performing poorly begins to circulate. The next day, Angel is forced to resign while Naoi becomes the acting student council president. Yuri is happy that Angel will now be easier to take down. Otonashi says that he is no longer sure that Angel is their enemy. Due to the group's operation, Angel loses her coupon to a very spicy dish. Yuri later admits that they assumed wrong about Angel, who they now call Kanade. The episode comes to an end with Naoi and other members of the student council storming the cafeteria while members of the group are eating and saying that the group will be punished for their constant disobedience. Members of the group are restrained a while in the reflection room before they are released. Yuri wonders how Naoi, who she thinks is an NPC, is able to behave in a certain way. Yuri tells them to go to class but do not be attentive to what the teachers are saying so that they do not disappear. She also tells them not to interfere with other students so as not to draw the attention of Naoi. It turns out that the new student council president will be a bigger thorn in their flesh than they expected. With the group members all doing different things, they flee the class when Naoi walks through the door. Otonashi takes Angel out to eat spicy food. Naoi orders that they should be locked in the reflection room for breaking the rules. Otonashi rants about being trapped in the reflection room while Angel sleeps off. Yuri is able to get in touch with Otonashi and explains that Naoi is a human, not an NPC, and that he might disappear soon. Otonashi wakes Angel and they succeed in escaping from their confinement. But when they get to the battleground, all the group members are on the floor, bleeding from their injuries. Naoi states that he is God and that he uses his hypnotic abilities to make the NPCs do his bidding. He uses the ability on Yuri, who fights it off until Otonashi attacks Naoi from behind. Otonashi engages Naoi in a discussion and we are able to learn Naoi's backstory. It comes to an end with both of them hugging and Naoi realizing that his father acknowledged him in the end. Wow, so all these he has been doing has been due to lack of fatherly love. After the group's massacre at Naoi's hand, everyone is having fun and doing their own thing. Naoi has now been recruited into the group. Yuri tells Naoi to help Otonashi regain his memories. Otonashi agrees, so the hypnotism session begins. We find out that Otonashi thought his life had no purpose at all. He didn't interact with others, except his sister Hatsune, who was sick in the hospital. He always bought manga for her. After working hard and saving extra, he snuck his sister out of the hospital against the doctor's advice and took her to see the lights from the Christmas trees, but sadly she died on his back. After his sister passed away, he dedicated his life to making others happy. After graduating from school, he died in a train accident. With the hypnosis now ended, he tells Yuri that he has no intention of dying without helping others, so he has decided to continue being in the group. The group goes fishing at the river. Otonashi invites Kanade. Kanade catches something that puts intense strain on the fishing rod. They all join her to pull it and she uses her super strength to drag it out of the water. It is revealed to be a massive fish known as the stream monster. Kanade creates a clone to quickly slice and prepare the fish. The group cannot finish it, so they decide to share to NPC students as a form of charity. Later that night, a Kanade look-alike with red eyes attacks Yuri. Girl resembling Kanade approaches the group and Yuri attacks her. She injures Yuri and is able to fend off their bullets. The real Kanade arrives and they begin to fight, inflicting injuries on each other. The next door, members of the group are wondering why there is another Kanade. Yuri suspects that it is the harmonics, a skill that Kanade uses to create clones. They reach a conclusion that Kanade's clone has rebelled against her and they will need to stop it. Watching this felt like I was watching one of those Naruto filler episodes where his clones will be at loggerheads with him. In Kanade's room, Yuri messes with some programs on the computer before leaving. When they arrive at the infirmary, the place is a mess and Kanade is nowhere to be found. Later they discover that Kanade is locked up in the former guild headquarters that they blew up, and Yuri decides that they go there to resolve the issue. On their way to the guild, they are relieved that their traps are not activated, but soon they are attacked by a Kanade clone that kills Noda. Soon they are intercepted by two clones of Kanade, and they realize that the clone used harmonics. they successfully escape from the clones, using a hand grenade. They realize that the clones might be unlimited as they do not know the amount of the clones. They also know that the clones will have to return to Kanade in the end. Yuri tells them to continue the mission. With every Kanade clone they meet, one of the group member has to sacrifice themselves until it is just Otonashi and Yuri left. Yuri fights a clone while Otonashi searches for the real Kanade. After seeing her, he convinces her to use the harmonics and she is able to absorb all the clones. Kanade is unconscious now at the infirmary. Yuri blames herself for what happened, but Otonashi says she isn't responsible. The other group members discuss and they wonder what version of Kanade they will get when she wakes up. Will it be the aggressive or the friendly one? Otonashi sleeps off and in his dream, he is in a dark place. They are in a tunnel with other dead and injured passengers of a train. He cannot contact anyone with his phone as the signal is too weak. He is able to help some of the injured and he takes authority of the group. The next day in the dream, they all wait for the rescue team. Someone tries to run away with their water, and some of it gets wasted in the process. On the third day, one of the survivors die and on the seventh day, Otonashi signs a card that allows for his organs to be donated after he is brain dead. The others sign it too and in that moment, the rescue team arrives to their aid. He wakes up from the dream and sees Kanade around him. He decides to become friends with Kanade. Later on, Kanade's innocence is known and her position as student council president is reinstated while Yuri and the others are punished. Otonashi and Kanade talk about their plans and he tells her that he will make Yui disappear first. Yui struggles during a practice session with the girls' band. Kanade arrives and takes the guitar away from her, running out of the room. After Otonashi gives Yui back her guitar, she tells him the things she wanted to do during her lifetime, and he decides to help her with the first one, performing a German suplex on someone. She struggles to do it with him due to their height difference, but after a training, he does it perfectly. Soccer is next. Otonashi manipulates TK, Hinata, Noda, and Fujimaki into joining him and on the field, Yui dribbles them and scores with slight help from Kanade who is hiding behind a tree. Otonashi played dirty to ensure she got a clean shot at goal, while Kanade diverted the ball into the net beyond the goalkeeper. Otonashi and Yui head over to the baseball field where she wants to hit a home run. After 3 days of practicing, Yui gives up, stating that is impossible for her. Yui states that her final wish is to get married and suddenly Hinata says that he will marry her. After professing love to her, she disappears as she now has no regrets. Hinata says that he will help Otonashi fulfill his plans and the episode comes to an end with Noda killing a mysterious shadow. Naoi and Hinata now want to help Otonashi in his plans. A shadowy creature appears at their back and attacks them. The creature tries to possess Naoi's body, but they are able to fend it off. Yuri thinks Kanade is the originator of the creature and has Takayama investigate her, but Takayama finds nothing on her. Soon, the group is attacked by an army of shadows. Kanade swings into action with her newly created wings. I must say they are super cool. They are able to defeat all the enemies. Yuri tells Otonashi that they might have overstayed in the afterlife. Then Fujimaki appears saying that Takamatsu has been consumed by one of the shadows. After some time, they find Takamatsu but he has lost his memories. Yuri states that he is now an NPC and they can't do anything about it. Hinata and Naoi help the rest to support Otonashi's plan. Yuri says that she needs Kanade to take down the shadows. Yuri tells Otonashi that she wants to be the last to leave this world and in the next scene, we see members of their group carrying out their personal activities alone. Yuri breaks into the library to investigate, and soon she finds herself going into the guild again. Otonashi tells Naoi and Hinata to get along, so that their plans will work. Otonashi meets the other members of the girls' band and after a discussion with Hisako, Irie, and Seikine, the girls disappear, ending their time in the afterlife. Stepping out with others, they realize that the shadowy creatures have increased in number. Noda, Oyama, Fujimaki, TK and Matsushita arrive and help fight off the shadows. I couldn't recognize Matsushita in this scene, as he had slimmed down a lot. Intense training and a lack of food really changed his body. In guild, Yuri is also fighting against the shadows. After getting to the old guild headquarters, she begins to think about Kanade and doesn't know when a shadow creeps up on her. The scene changes as Yuri is now in a class and we see her relationship with a girl named Hitomi and her teachers. When she wakes up, Otonashi tells her that Kanade felt her feelings so they rush to the guild to save her. As they keep waking round the basement, They see a large army of shadows, but Kanade destroys them with what was described as the force of a bomber. Yuri meets an AI that explains this world to her, letting her know she can edit the world, but she vehemently refuses. She destroys the computers and shoots the AI. Yuri realizes that she is no longer fighting for her dead siblings, but now for her friends that she wants to stay with. Later she wakes up in the infirmary. Hinata, Naoi, Kanade and Otonashi are at her side when she wakes. Yuri admits to them that she has moved on from her regrets. As they all head to the gymnasium, Yuri notices that she cannot see other members of the group, and they reveal to her that the others have moved on. Now in the gymnasium, after some friendly banter between them, Otonashi begins the graduation ceremony for the Afterlife Battlefront. They sing their group anthem. Hinata acts as the principal after losing a game. With the ceremony coming to an end, Otonashi gives the closing remarks and talks about how his time with the group has impacted his life. The crew hug each other and cry together. Yuri waves at them and soon she disappears. Hinata agrees to go next and Otonashi tells him to say hi to Yui over there. Only Otonashi and Kanade are left. Otonashi tells Kanade to stay with him here so that he will be able to help others like he helped their group. He also tells her that he loves her, but she says that if she tells him her feelings, she would disappear. She reveals that she was one of the recipients of his organ donation and her urge to thank him is what made her wander in the afterlife. In the next scene, he tells her repeatedly that he loves her and she thanks him every time. Soon she disappears. Unable to bear the loneliness, Otonashi also disappears after screaming out her name.